Hey guys, and welcome back to This Life We Live, where we are battling both weather and a deadline. We have a 2-year deadline to get this entire house project wrapped up, set forth by our local township. So we have to hurry up and get this done. This portion of the build was supposed to be completed all the way back in August. But we are rolling into the early part of November and it is still not done. Now we are facing weather delays. Rain, snow, freezing temperatures. Can our builders get the entire outside of our house wrapped up before the weather finally hits? Or are we going to be left stranded with a naked house exposed to the elements? That is the question today as we begin installing the siding. Oh yeah, and did I mention that we also have 50 to 70 mile an hour winds that happen on a regular basis in the fall out here. So there's that to deal with as well. And if we have a big windstorm that hits while they're installing the siding, that stuff is going to blow in the wind and bend, which is going to ruin the siding. If you watched last week's video, the Amish came out and they rolled all of our siding out on site. So everything is custom built on site for this house. We're also going to be getting to work on doing the drywall on the inside of the house. We're going to be installing it on the ceiling, which is a lot of fun. Believe me, Eric is terrified of heights. I'm terrified of heights. So this is going to be interesting to see how this rolls. Give us your best hints and tips throughout the video because we'll be watching. Let's go. We need this because we are going to be moving in insulation. Eric's been stockpiling it down here. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff blowing in. I'm not even sure what's blowing in. I don't know if that's insulation blowing in or just dust. There. Pull it real tight. There you go. I said you can push the next one on Dad's head. You almost face planted in the wall.
That's how you get it done.
I think you need a longer mattress.
Shoo! Dude, this stuff is slick, man.
Yeah, I saw you slide across it.
Almost all the way into the room there.
Eric was determined to christen the basement with his blood. Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
All right. So now the basement's going to be extra warm with all this insulation.
All the insulation for the house.
All right, so Eric had his son Ian come over to help lift some of these sheets of drywall, and I'm realizing how dirty my lens is. Hold on. Oh, I see they actually put, they staggered the scaffolding platforms and they added a step stool up there. So this is the dicey part, guys. This is really dicey. Again, none of us here are professionals, and doing it this high above your head on scaffolding that's wiggly, not a good scenario. So, you know, everything's gone really good with this whole build. We have been so blessed and so fortunate, but this, they have to get this first full row up to about right there. Now that area above the loft, that's going to be easy, but Eric's main objective is to get this whole main area done. We've got the dining room, the kitchen, the little hallway area right here. And then we have the entire living room, which will be a piece of cake because this is 10 feet above our heads, not 20 feet. So this is the first sheet, minus a foot. It's either going to be an 8-foot sheet with an additional foot or a 10-foot sheet minus a foot.
Yep. So layout work.
So you guys are both gonna climb the ladders, put it on the lift.
Alright, this has to like flip. Put your hand on here.
Well, that does kind of bow a lot, doesn't it?
Right?
Seems a little unstable.
This is awkward.
It is, and it's heavy. Whoa, nice job, guys. You got it.
Maybe I turn it when bringing it in sideways through the.
Probably because the other side's not on. Out.
And then you can rotate it.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
And then we'll rotate it and just like just hold it straight, yeah.
Because it's like, how do I get around here now? Got it. Okay. And then slide it my direction. Like what my arms are gonna look like after this
I
whole
was
thing.
like shaky, brah.
Shaking. I think we're holding most of it. You're over
No,
there.
I'm like nervous shaky.
Oh, I wasn't nervous shaking. I was just like, this thing's gonna go down.
I was both shaky.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I'm feeling those muscle groups really good right now.
And after doing that,
I know. Dude, I was like, were you nervous shaky?
I was like nervous shaky, and I was like, holy shit, this is heavy shaky.
It wasn't that heavy, was it?
Well, just holding it there, like up high like that.
Yeah, over your head.
Yeah. Once that's clear, you can lower it down.
I have 2 extensions on that thing to get that high.
Yeah.
That's your report. Okay, you get your hand out here.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Alright, go up. Rest it on your head. And you're gonna step up.
So do you think that went a little easier, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You think it
Not
was?
as heavy.
Oh, the size was definitely the better way to go.
Yeah.
We just had a better technique.
And better technique.
Like me on the.
Yeah, because your dad on one side and you on the other, and then I just still kind of pushed it up in the middle a little bit.
The next few pieces of drywall were pretty straightforward. They were still heavy, they were still bulky, they were still a pain to put up, but nothing like the next one right next to the loft. We had assumed that this piece would be like the last couple, that it would go up, pretty much the same way the others had. But we were very wrong. And this is where things took a turn for the worse.
All right, we managed to get it all the way over to the loft area. So this is gonna be the last one that we're gonna do for this run right here. We're having a little bit of a trick trying to get it lined up because the curvature of the wall is just ever so slight, and then the trusses are not necessarily even either. So it's just one of those things we're gonna be battling the entire roof line. All right, you're at your limit. My ladder next
Put
to
your
you.
ladder under there. Turn it the other way. Help me.
Let me know when you're in place.
Okay.
Then go up, go on the wall. Alright, let's.
Push my way. It's not. How does that look?
Despite our very best efforts in trying to install that last sheet of drywall, it just was not up to Eric's satisfaction, and he ended up tearing the entire thing back out. And then we had to start all over again, fighting with that one last sheet. But we got it.
Go by the amount you pull the trigger.
Look how sweaty my phone is from sitting in my back pocket. Because I had to help do all of the ones back there. Ugh. Yuck.
I got like drywall burn on my knee.
Oh, my knees are all bruised up from the first couple sheets we carried. Tomorrow is a really, really big day. The builders are going to get started, hopefully, on the siding. Siding's all here. It's all been delivered. Well, almost all of it's here. We still have to have the faux wood siding delivered. And I think that's coming sometime next week. Not sure yet, but excited for that. But tomorrow, it's gonna be the gray siding. Yeah, we've got some beautiful weather today. It's a rare 75 degrees in mid to late October. I guess it's late October at this point. And the builders are here working on the siding, trying to soak it up. So right now, they are putting the tape on. Look at that. Pretty awesome. Getting everything all taped up and ready to go. And the SkyTrack definitely makes short work of it. There it is. Whoa, it's the first piece of siding. Or the second, I'm not sure which. got siding on this corner too. So what do you think of the texture on it?
Cool.
You like it better than the straight stuff, or do you like the straight stuff better?
I like the straight stuff better because it goes faster, but this is definitely cooler.
Well, you mean like the smooth stuff is faster than the texture stuff?
Oh, you're saying as far as
The texture
would I rather
versus
have it smooth
Yeah.
like this versus texture?
yeah.
The texture looks better for sure.
You think so?
Yeah. Give it character.
It does. I thought it was gonna be maybe a little bit too loud, but I guess we'll see.
Not for the style of siding you're going with.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want texture.
Okay. So now the real question is gonna be, guys, do you like it better as white, or do you like it better as the dark gray? Now originally when we came up with the color scheme, we wanted to go with a lighter tone of wood. However, the faux wood grain pattern is really hard to get a hold of, and there's only certain companies that have it in the lighter colors, and only certain styles. So this is what we ended up with. But honestly, it still looks pretty dang hot. But at the end of the day, I'm just not quite sure, and I'm still wondering, should we have gone with white and the wood tone, or should we have stayed with the medium and the wood tone? Let me know what color scheme you prefer.
It was at this moment, as I was admiring the beautiful handiwork our builders are creating with this lovely shade of gray siding against the glowing reddish hues of the wood tone, I didn't quite catch what was wrong. But there was something about to go catastrophically wrong, and it wasn't until I sent a picture of this to Eric to show him what the builders were doing that Eric pointed out the glaring issue. Let me know if you know what it is, but you probably don't. We had a problem, and this was a problem that should not have been an issue. Now, we fought our power company, Consumers Energy, since 10 years ago when we first moved out on the property, but that's a whole nother story. In this instance, we had been planning to connect solar power in addition to grid power to our house. We had several systems picked out, and Eric had researched the top of the line hybrid connector that allowed us to connect both grid and solar power to our house. This one came highly recommended by many power companies all across the US, except for our power company. Consumers Energy was busy doing the happy dance while they happily announced that we could not use any of the power boxes. We had to, in fact, use their very specific power box, and they would not allow us to use any other power box. So that meant that we had to take down our power box and use theirs. And they said we were not allowed to use any sort of solar anymore. So we are going to have a little bit of a battle on our hands, and it remains to be seen how this is going to go down in the end. So stay tuned.
So we still have the front to go. I think the boys are on the back, working on the back end. We have this full side done over here. That's a long piece of metal. But she's coming along bit by bit.
had thought that this would probably take them about 2 weeks. Let's see, today is Tuesday. So, I mean, they might, depending on the weather, it might take a week and a half. But we still have this other corner over here. That was going to be a little bit of a sticky point because it's a different type of material. So trying to get everything to line up just right could prove to be an issue. And then we also have to get the roof finished up. Then the little mini roof that's going to go over the garage right there. And that should pretty much be it for this year. Oh, and then we got to work on the porch right there. So Eric's decided that all of the porches, the wood porches, so the side porch and the rear porch, those are going on in next spring. That basically frees up our money to be able to finish off the inside and get that straightened off, because we hadn't been planning to do all of the utilities this year. So that definitely ate a lot of the budget. But so far, everything is looking really good. And it's gonna be a shock to see it when it's all done. It's gonna be something else, that's for sure. I just don't even have words to say it. And pretty much most people that come here don't really know what to say either. So this corner here is going to be the same color as that wood up there. Although now that I'm looking at it, it might have been better, instead of having it as a siding color up there, maybe it would have been better to have just straight black all the way across for that J channel, or whatever channel it is up there. I don't know. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that in my head. But it'll be all right. It'll still look good. I don't think too many people will notice that it probably should have been black maybe.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment on the video down below giving us all of your hints and tips and tricks, because we are going to be continuing with drywall, continuing with insulation, and all of the fine details work involved. And stay tuned to see if we actually will meet our deadline on this house, or will winter get the best of us. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you so much. Take care. See you next week. Bye.